You ever look at those people who are just always winning and wonder what's their secret? Is it some special talent they were born with or some hidden advantage? Well, today we're going to dive into what's called the price of average and find out what's really going on. And I'll tell you right now, the answer is probably not what you're thinking. Okay, so first things first, let's just bust a huge myth. We love to think high achievers have some secret sauce, right? Some advantage we don't. But the truth? It's way simpler and honestly, way more interesting. They're not just better at winning, they're masters at avoiding the tiny mistakes that cause everyone else to fail. It's about spotting the tripwires before they even get to them. And this idea right here, this is the whole game. See, it's not the big dramatic flame out that's going to take you down. No way. It's the drift. It's that slow, quiet, almost invisible slide into bad habits. It's the little compromises you make every day that do way more damage than one big screw up. And the people at the top, they are hyper aware of this danger. So that leads us to a total flip in how we think about success. We're always told to add more, right? More hustle, more on the to-do list. But what if that's all wrong? What if the real secret is about subtraction, about what you're willing to cut out of your life? I mean, think about it. Success isn't just something you build and then it's done. It's something you have to actively defend. The best performers are absolutely relentless when it comes to protecting the systems that keep them moving forward. Their routines, their boundaries, you name it. This isn't luck, it's a full-on strategy. All right, so how do they actually pull this off? Well, it really boils down to avoiding mistakes in three big areas. And we're going to start with the first one, which is arguably the most important of all, mindset. This is all about protecting your focus and your belief in what you're doing. So when it comes to mindset, there are four major traps that high achievers just refuse to fall into. First, trying to please everybody. Second, that endless, soul-crushing game of comparing yourself to others. Third, waiting for the perfect time to start, which, spoiler alert, never comes. And last, but definitely not least, is the sneakiest one, letting comfort become your main goal. Let's dig into that people-pleasing thing for a second. We're wired to want to keep everyone happy, but it's a dead end. High achievers make a really tough call. They choose to stay aligned with their long-term vision, even if it creates a little short-term friction. They get that making real progress means you're probably going to have to say no and disappoint a few people along the way. And that whole waiting for the perfect moment trap? Here's the secret they figured out. Clarity doesn't come from thinking, it comes from doing. You get moving and suddenly things become clear. You execute, and that's where confidence comes from. Certainty isn't something you need to start. It's the prize you get after you've taken the risk. Okay, so getting your mindset right is huge, but it's only half the story. That brings us to our second big mistake cluster, execution. This is all about how you actually turn those great ideas into real, tangible achievements. And in the world of execution, there are two classic mistakes that trip almost everyone up. Number one, trying to chase way too many goals at the same time. It's a guaranteed recipe for getting nothing done. And number two, mistaking being busy for actually making progress. And you've got to understand the difference here. It's so important. Activity feels good, right? Your calendar's packed, you're multitasking, you're always on the move. But achievement, that's totally different. It's stuff you can actually measure, finished projects, real results. High achievers don't care how many hours they put in, they care about what they got done. At the end of the day, it's so simple. Success isn't about how many things you can start. It's about how many things you can finish. And finishing, well, that takes intense focus and the discipline to say no to pretty much everything else. All right, that leads us to our third and final mistake cluster, energy. Because look, you can have the perfect mindset and the best execution plan in the world, but if you burn out, it's all for nothing. Managing your inner state is absolutely key for the long haul. So the best of the best are ruthless about protecting their energy, and they do it by cutting out three major drains. First, they stop waiting around for motivation to show up. Second, they avoid making big decisions when they're emotional. And third, they absolutely refuse to ignore recovery. They don't see it as an option. You know, when it comes to motivation, high achievers have a really clear perspective. They don't count on it. For them, motivation is just a bonus. It's like a nice tailwind pushing you along, for sure, but it is not the engine. The engine, that's discipline. That's the system that runs every single day, whether they feel like it or not. And this right here might be one of the biggest differences between average and elite. Most people let their performance ride the roller coaster of their feelings. But top performers, they do it differently. Their decisions are based on their core values and their vision, not whatever emotional weather they're in that day. They've learned how to separate who they are from how they feel. And finally, let's talk about rest. In this world that just glorifies the 24/7 hustle, the smartest people know a secret. Recovery is a weapon. It is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of wisdom. It's not a break from the work, it's a critical part of the work. It's what lets you come back stronger tomorrow. So when you put all these pieces together, mindset, execution, energy, you start to see the real game that's being played at the top. It has nothing to do with just hustling harder. It's about subtraction. It's a deliberate, focused process of cutting away all the noise to get to clarity and build momentum. So yeah, forget all that noise about just adding more hustle to your life. The real game changer is subtraction. It's about having the guts to cut out the things that are holding you back, so the things that really matter finally have room to grow. And the best part is you can start this process like right now. It's really just 3 simple steps. First, notice. Catch yourself drifting early before it turns into a real problem. Second, correct. Don't make excuses, just fix it. And third, hold. Hold yourself to your standard, especially right after you slip up. That is how you build real resilience. So I'll leave you with the only question that really matters after all this. Take a hard look at your own life, your own goals, and ask yourself, what am I going to eliminate? What's the one mindset, the one habit, the one excuse that I'm going to cut away? Because the second you do that, you clear the runway for a whole new version of yourself that's been waiting to take off.